The Credit Show podcast with Harry Jacobs starts now.
Credit card delinquencies were higher in 2024 because the banks took on more risk. Let's dive into the world of credit cards and a trend that might be impacting your wallet. Credit card delinquencies. That's a fancy way of saying more people are falling behind on their credit card payments. Understanding why this is happening can be helpful, which is why I picked this topic. So let's unpack this together. Card delinquencies are actually higher than they were in 2019. Now, 2019 feels like a lifetime ago, pre-pandemic and all that, but it's a good benchmark to see how things have changed. So, what's going on? A key reason for this: lenders took on more risk. Think of it like this: credit card companies are in the business of lending money, but not everyone who gets a credit card is a guaranteed good bet to pay it back. So, lenders assess risk, how likely someone is to repay, before approving a card. Now, during the pandemic, a lot of us were facing financial uncertainty. Jobs were lost, hours were cut, and times were tough. Lenders knew this, so they tightened their belts a bit and became more cautious about who they approved for credit cards. This actually led to a drop in delinquencies during that period. But as things started to pick back up, lenders loosened their grip a bit. They started approving more credit cards, even to people with less than perfect credit histories. This might sound good on the surface, more access to credit, right? But there's a catch. When they started approving more cards to people who might be at a higher risk of not paying them back, the chances of those cards going delinquent, meaning falling behind on payments, actually goes up. It's a bit of a gamble for lenders, hoping that enough people will make good on their debts to balance out those who don't. Here's an example scenario. Let's say you lost your job during the pandemic. Your credit score might have taken a hit. But now, with things seemingly getting back to normal, you apply for a new credit card. The lender might approve you, figuring you've got a job again and things are looking up. That's great. But if something unexpected happens, like a car repair or a medical bill, it could be harder to keep up with your credit card payments on top of everything else. That's when delinquency can occur. Remember, this is a general trend. It doesn't necessarily mean your credit card is about to go delinquent, but it's good to be aware of the factors at play. Staying on top of your revolving credit, like everything else credit-related, is important. Here are a handful of things to keep in mind. Be mindful of your spending. This might sound obvious, but it's worth repeating. Only spend what you can realistically afford to pay back each month. Don't get caught in the trap of overspending just because you have access to more credit. Track your budget. Knowing where your money goes each month is crucial. There are tons of budgeting apps and tools available to help you stay on track. Prioritize high-interest debt. If you're carrying a balance on multiple cards, focus on paying off the ones with the highest interest rates first. This can save you money in the long run. Talk to your lender. If you're struggling to make payments, don't be afraid to reach out to your credit card issuer. They might be able to offer you a hardship program with lower interest rates or a temporary payment plan. I'll give you a simple example on the value of revolving credit and your credit score. If you are someone with a 700 credit score and you have just one credit card with a $1,000 limit, and you usually keep that balance at about 10%, but one month you charge it up and max it out, you will take a hit on your score. And the hit isn't a minor one. You could see a drop of 100 points or more. How crazy is that? Revolving credit is 30% of your credit score. Managing credit cards is a marathon, not a sprint. By being responsible and informed, you can stay in control of your finances and avoid falling victim to delinquency.
You've been listening to the Credit Show podcast with Harry Jacobs. If you need assistance with your credit, text CREDIT to 702-778-2000.